Post-Impressionism is an art movement that started in the late 19th century. Artists wanted to go beyond Impressionism by adding more emotion, structure, and meaning to their paintings. Post-Impressionism was a late 19th century art movement that built on Impressionism but emphasized greater emotional depth, formal structure, and symbolic meaning in works, moving away from just capturing light and momentary scenes. Like for example, Vincent van Gogh's The Starry Nights is swirling brush strokes, vivid colors, and dramatic composition convey intense emotion rather than realistic depiction of the night sky, embodying the movement's focus on meaning and expression. Background of the movement. Post-Impressionism developed after Impressionism in France. Artists felt that Impressionism focused too much on light and not enough on deeper expressions. Emerging in France after Impressionism, Post-Impressionism arose because artists believe Impressionism overemphasized capturing light and fleeting visual effects, and they sought to prioritize deeper emotional, symbolic, and structural expressionism in their art. Like example, Paul Cézanne's small Saint Victor. Instead of focusing on how light hits the landscape at a specific moment, like Impressionists would, he structured the scene with geometric forms and explored the underlying composition of the natural world, aiming for lasting meaning rather than transitory appearance. Main goal of post-impressionists. The goal was to show feelings, symbols, and personal ideas. Artists used bold colors and unique styles to express emotions. Post-impressionists aimed to convey feelings, symbols, and personal perspectives through their work, using bold colors and distinctive styles to emphasize emotional expression rather than just realistic representation. Example, Edward Munch's The Scream is distorted figures, stark color contrast, and swirling lines are designed to communicate intense anxiety and existential dread, embodying the movement's focus on expressing inner emotion and ideas. Key characteristic. Post-impressionist art is known for bright colors, thick brush strokes, and unusual forms. Painting often have emotional and symbolic meanings. Post-impressionist works feature bright color, thick brush strokes, and unconventional forms with pieces typically carrying emotional weight and symbolic significance. For example, Paul Gauguin's Where Do We Come From? What Are We? Where Are We Going? It used vivid non-naturalistic colors, bold outlines, and simplified forms to explore profound questions about life and existence packed with symbolic imagery.
Use of colors. Artists use color to express mood rather than reality. Colors were sometimes exaggerated and unrealistic. This describes a color approach where artists prioritize conveying emotional tone over depicting how colors appear in real life. They may amplify or alter to, to evoke specific feelings rather than aiming for realistic representation. Focus on emotion. Post-impressionists wanted viewers to feel emotion when looking at their artwork. They believed art should show inner feelings, not just what the eye sees. This highlights a key goal of post-impressionist art to evoke emotional responses in viewers by conveying the artist's inner feelings and subjective experiences rather than only representing realistic visual. depictions of subjects. Vincent van Gogh. Van Gogh is one of the most famous post-impressionist artists. His paintings show strong emotion through swirling lines and bright colors. Vincent van Gogh is a renowned post-impressionist artist whose work convey intense emotion through distinctive swirling lines and vivid, bright colors. Paul Gauguin. Gauguin used plant-shaped, bold colors and symbolic themes. He often painted scenes inspired by nature and different cultures. Paul Gauguin is a notable post-impressionist artist who employed platforms, striking colors, and symbolic subjects. In his work, his paintings often draw inspiration from natural landscapes and diverse cultural traditions.
Paul Cézanne. Cézanne focused on structure and form. His style influenced the development of modern art and Cubism. George Seurat. Seurat created paintings using tiny dots of color called pointillism. These techniques made images appear detailed from a distance. Common subjects. Artists painted landscapes, portraits, daily life, and symbolic scenes. They chose subjects that allowed items to express personal ideas. Difference from Impressionism. Impressionisms focus on light and quick moments. Post-Impressionisms focus on deeper meaning, structure, and emotion. Influence on modern art. Post-Impressionism influenced many modern art styles such as Cubism, Fauvism, and Expressionism. It helped change how artists think about art. Why Post-Impressionism is important? This movement showed that art can be personal and expressive. It opened new ways for artists to create and communicate. Conclusion. Post-Impressionism is an important step in art history. It taught artists to express emotions, ideas, and creativity in new ways.